Good day. Welcome to the holiday edition of Spotlight on Mahopac Schools. I'm Eric Gross, your host, along with Superintendent of Schools Anthony DiCarlo. And Anthony, the holidays are here.
Yes, they are, and it seems like it was just yesterday that school started in September, and it really goes quickly. And I just want to wish everybody out there a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa. Enjoy friends, family, but most importantly, be safe. School starts back up on January 2nd, and we wish you all the best.
You know, it seems like yesterday was Christmas in 2018.
I know. Could you imagine 2020?
I know, 2020.
2020. It's just, I mean,
Remember when it was it 2000?
yeah, and the world and everything was the technology was gonna freeze up. Everybody was panicking, and now
That's right.
it's 20 years later.
20 years
Oh my
later.
gosh.
Amazing, just
Wow.
amazing. Well, all kinds of exciting things are happening in the Mahopac schools. The senior prom was held the other day. A new assistant superintendent of business has joined the Mahopac School District family. We're going to talk to people there. Greatest guy, the greatest weatherman around, Jim Witt. You've heard the name before. He'll be on our show as well. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about a couple of things happening around Mahopac, like Mahopac being the first school in New York State to be certified by the Office of Addiction Services and Supports to teach upperclassmen about substance abuse.
Yeah, I mean, Val Neerman and Miss Bouguet have been working on this for a number of years. And like everything else, it's got to be vetted out. It's got to go through state approval, and it's got to go through the association. And it's what's interesting about it is not only are we going to be able to offer it, we have almost 27 students who are interested in it. So to be able to start a degree program on the high school level is just incredible, and that's the dedication of our staff and also what the kids want to be able to do later on in life, which is a tribute, I think, to a first-rate high school and a school of excellence. We've talked about how many college courses we offer here at Mahopac High School, and that's just another feather in the cap of what we do. We're always trying to expand our horizons, Eric.
And it's nice that they're cooperating and coordinating the curriculum with different organizations
Yeah.
like Cove Care,
Yeah,
Arms
no
Acres.
question. And one of the things we always talk about is those partnerships with those agencies that are affiliated with the county. So it's an exciting venture. I'm very excited about it. We'll be kicking it off this spring, and hopefully it'll be part of our program for many years to come.
And not only will activities taking place within the classroom, but now there's life beyond the classroom, a new program.
Yeah, it's really a tribute to the foresight that we have to get kids. Remember, college and career ready fits both, right? College and career ready. So I'm very, very excited about the program.
Okay, it's fantastic. Bridging the generation gap, the senior prom, one of the greatest programs. There are many great programs
Yeah.
take place.
Yeah.
As Anthony says, it's the Mahopac way.
Mhm.
But this is for the 18th consecutive year. These kids were amazing.
Yeah, it's a tribute to Coach DiMatteo, to Frank Mealy, who actually instituted this many years ago. And, Frank is back this year as our interim. But to see the Student Athletic Council, members of all teams throughout the Mahopac Central School District, coming out, preparing, organizing, sitting and having lunch with the seniors, dancing, singing. It really is a tribute. And I will tell you, us being there, it's just incredible to hear how excited the seniors are to come. They're actually here much earlier. We have to, I think, adjust the time next year, maybe move it up to noon time. But, and it really is all about the school and giving back to our seniors who have given back, during their lifetimes to their communities. And it's just it's a little part of what we can do, and it's become a great tradition. We do it every December, and it's just be a part. And we're seeing it grow back to where it used to be. More and more of the students are getting involved, and we're really excited about it.
Let's not forget about that jazz band.
Yeah, and that's a great part of this whole day because the seniors love to dance. Everybody out there in the audience, and having a live jazz band perform. And I will tell you, if you haven't come to see our jazz band, there's going to be a lot of performances coming up during the course of the next number of months. You close your eyes and don't realize you're listening to high school students play.
These kids are pros.
Yeah, Mr. Williams and the group of musicians that are a part of this jazz band are absolutely outstanding. So it really is a win-win. It's great music for our seniors to dance to. It's a great practice session for our kids. It's just a great day.
Okay, let's take a break. Mahopac High School, senior prom. If you missed it, you missed something special. The wonderful time of the year, this time of the year. Holidays are upon us. And of course, in Mayapack, every holiday season, when it comes to November and December, is extra, extra special. Why? The Mayapack High School Senior Prom.
Yeah, and if I think I'm correct, you mentioned it's the 18th year. And this is what the Mayapack Way is all about. It's something that's become a tradition in the community. Our student athletes really come out, support, work behind the scenes to get this ready, come in early in the morning, set it up. I want to thank Coach DiMatteo, who heads up the Student Athletic Council. It's just a testament to our student athletes here at Mayapack High School.
And the seniors love it.
Yeah, they do. Every year they come earlier and earlier because they want to get started. But it's great for them. They get to socialize with our students. And then they love to dance, as you can see behind us. And the kids are actually dancing with them. And it's a part of that coming together of our people who gave to the community for so many years. And now we as a school district and our Student Athletic Council can give back to them.
And we talk about history. This is living history for these young people.
Yeah, it is, and it's something that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. And I'm sure they may, even when their kids go to school, if they don't have this, they may mention it to their athletic directors and their principals about what a great way to bring community together.
And it's nice seeing the seasoned citizens coming back year after year.
Yeah, they enjoy it. It's become, like you mentioned, an annual holiday tradition. So that time of the year, they know to look forward to the invitation. They come and they have a great time.
We're going to check to some of the senior citizens, look at some of this dancing, talk to some of the students, and Coach DiMatteo. You stay tuned. One of the seniors having a ball today is our friend Joe Yedowitz. Joe, welcome.
Yonkers, New York.
All the way from Yonkers.
And Brewster. My daughter bought a house in Brewster, so I'm up in Brewster now.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Having a good time?
Oh, I always have a good time.
You like to dance?
I love the women, the beer, the music. Oh, no, there's no beer, but
Well, no beer here today. Plenty of women and
there's
plenty
no
of
beer
music.
in heaven.
You're having a good time. Though.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful.
What kind of work did you do before you retired?
Well, I was a florist. Now I'm a caddy at a golf course in Westchester. And I leave in a couple of days. I go to Florida. We don't shovel rain in Florida.
May I ask, how old are you, Joe?
I'll be 72 in January.
Young guy over
Oh,
here.
young guy compared to the rest of them. I'm
you
a
have-
youngster.
Well, you have yourself a great winter.
Thank you.
And be
Thank
well.
you.
We'll see you next
Yes,
year.
Yes, I come back next year. It's wonderful. Wonderful to be old.
Joe Yedowitz, quite a character.
Thank
Great
you.
guy. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, 5 of Mayapack's finest high school students are with us today, helped to organize the senior prom. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome. You are.
Hi, I'm Shannon Becker.
And Shannon, why is this such a cool event?
It's just awesome to give back to the community and see all the senior citizens who have put in their time and do so much for us, and just giving back to them and seeing them have a good time here. It's just awesome to see them having fun and us having fun with them.
Great. And you are.
I'm Mia Clammer. I just think this is a great idea because we get to see all these people get out of their own homes and just get to see and talk to each other. It's just a great idea.
3 of the handsomest guys at Mayapack High are.
Hi, I'm Colin Ranahan, and I really enjoy just talking to all the senior citizens and dancing with them and getting to know a little bit about them. I think it's really fun.
As I said to Superintendent DiCarlo, living history coming to life right before your eyes.
Yes, sir. My name is Sean Massett. I feel like this is just a great day for everybody. I mean, they come and support us through with our athletics and our plays and our music, and it's just a way to give back to them for supporting us.
And you are.
I'm Michael Callahan, and I just think it's a really good idea to socialize with them because they were a part of our community at one point, and we should really give back to them and everything they do for us. So, yeah.
Out of the mouths of babes, and they're growing big in Mayapack. How tall are you guys? 6 what?
6'3".
6'3", all right. 5'10", we're shrinking. You are?
Like 5'9".
5'9".
I'm 6'2". I'm 6'1".
6'1", 6'2", 6'3", even the ladies, wow. Eating good in Mayapack. We'll be right back. One of the beautiful ladies having a ball today is Marie Sclawante. How are you today?
I'm fine, and this is so wonderful. I feel like a teenager again.
You come back every year?
I come back every year, yes. I'm living up here. It's going to be 5 years, and I come every year. I join the Drop-In Senior Center, and I come here every year when you guys have this year.
What kind of work did you do before you retired?
I was a payroll secretary in a public school in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're a resident of Putnam County.
Resident of Putnam County. I live with my 3 grandchildren and my son, and it's beautiful up here. I love it.
Have yourself a wonderful Christmas and a happy and a healthy New Year.
Thank you, and the same to you and everybody out there.
Thank you.
Thank
Marie.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, Dom DiMatteo, if you were much prettier looking, I'd ask you to dance. What a great song.
It sure is. Everybody jumped up as soon as they heard it.
The Mayapack High School Jazz Band's amazing.
They truly are. They had their first opening number. Rich mentioned this is their debut this year, their first performance, and you wouldn't know it. They sound like they have been performing all year.
What a great endeavor, the 18th annual Senior Citizen Prom. It's great, the seniors, the students getting together like this.
It is, and as Anthony DiCarlo would say, it's part of the Mayapack way. It's a great tradition. Frank Mealy started the Student Athletic Council 18 years ago, specifically this event. So to be a part of it now and to be able to bring our student athletes into this day with our seniors truly makes it a community event.
You must feel great, too, heading up this great endeavor.
I do. I love this role. Serving as a physical education teacher here and a head football coach is very important to me, but this is one of those things. Being the club advisor for Student Athletic Council, I take tremendous pride in.
You do a heck of a job.
Well, I appreciate that.
Have yourself a wonderful holiday.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, Don DiMatteo. And the seniors continue to have a ball at the 18th annual Mayapack High School Senior Prom. Anthony and I will be right back.
Becoming a master teacher is something very, very difficult in New York State. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's difficult. You have to go through a pretty rigorous approval process, and it's a great honor once you achieve this milestone. And we're so excited that Tricia Fuller Johnson has really joined an elite group of educators being able to do this. And what's interesting is that it's science, technology, engineering, and math, which is really a part of, you look at college and career ready, and what we're doing here with our bond and creating that that area for kids to really enhance those skills, and for her to want to take this on and do that kind of work is a tribute to her dedication.
She's one of 228 this year, and since 2013, only 1,200 in the state.
It's very prestigious. It's very rigorous, and somebody who wants to get involved in getting that certificate, it really speaks highly for the type of educator that Tricia is.
Well, congratulations,
yes,
Tricia.
Great job.
Special holiday for Tricia this year.
Wonderful.
Special holiday for a bunch of high school ladies and gentlemen who have signed letters of intent to study and play sports in some prestigious schools, again, around the country.
Yeah, so we had a wonderful celebration a number of weeks ago, and this is the Mayapack way and our student athletes. This past fall, we raised a series of banners throughout our campus highlighting that we were selected as one of the top performing high schools for our student athletes. And that's indicative of the names that you're going to read off of students who are going on to play at the next level, and they're student athletes. Because in order to get a scholarship from a college or university, you have to really be a top-notch academic, because let's understand it, they're investing in you.
Yes.
And they want you to be successful.
Yes, exactly.
So these are in the areas of a variety of different sports, the soccer, some lacrosse, some, clay shooting. And so, we're talking about Brendan McCrossan, Tommy Elliott, Frank Zito, Sophia DiFrancesco, Christina Lopriato, Caitlin Riley, Alexa Raspoli, Sabrina Nagula, Carly Steinberg, Jenna Daling, and Grace DiFincenzo. To all those student athletes, just a great honor. To the parents, congratulations. All those hours and sacrificing of traveling to games and tournaments. That really is a tribute to your dedication as parents, and we are so proud of this collective group of student athletes.
Congratulations, one
Yes.
and all, and to moms and dads, too.
Yeah, very, very much so.
The
It's a great honor.
grandparents, brothers and sisters,
Exactly.
you name it.
Absolutely great honor.
All right. Jim Witt, great guy. New assistant superintendent, great lady. You're going to meet them right now. You stay tuned. Anthony, did you ever hear of a guy named Jim Witt?
Yes, I did. I heard through you, and I remember the name, because believe it or not, I was at the Lakeland Copper Beach Middle School as a middle school principal there back in 2002 to 2006. And I remember the name coming up, and I knew about weather, but not to the extent that you had told me a little bit about what he's done and what currently he's doing. And in what I have to do during this time of the year, it's not easy. So I'm looking forward to Jim's conversation, with me. And again, I say this always to the audience. I mean, I'm always going to make a decision what's on the health and safety of our students and our faculty.
Well, Jim Witt, welcome.
We are.
Well, thank you very much, Ben.
Jim Witt, of course, is Fleet Weather. He has his long-range calendar that he puts together every year. He's heard on radio stations throughout the eastern United States. And welcome to the program, Jim. The weather this time of the year is most
Exciting.
difficult to predict. We've had more miserable weather, and it's not even winter yet.
That's right. Well, it starts when?
Saturday.
Tonight.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
20th.
Yes.
That's right.
So, that's right. So, I do the weather. I get up every morning. I do a radio station up in Bangor, Maine.
Wow.
Wow, why you do
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Because Stephen King owns it.
There
And
you
he's a
go.
nice guy.
Mhm.
And of course, WHUD, which a lot of people here in Mahopac would listen to.
Right.
I started doing WHUD in 1972. I'm the only guy there that's still on the air.
That's right.
Yeah.
How did you get the passion for weather? What in your life early on, what did that switch go on and say, wow, I'm enamored with weather?
Well, I'll tell you, back in 1944, so you can see I wasn't
God
born
bless, you're in
yesterday.
great shape.
1944, we had a terrible hurricane, and I happened to have a house that was on top of a hill, and there were no houses around me. This was early on in Queens, New York, and a hurricane hit, and the house swayed. Oh my gosh, it really swayed, and I had fish tank, and the water was sloshing out of the fish tank, and the water was coming in the walls. As a kid, I thought that was pretty exciting, so that got me started.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
And now,
wonderful.
of course, the 2020 is out already, the
Yeah.
long-range calendar, which is something that you conceived, and it's something that goes to a great cause, young people.
Yeah, what we do, Doctor, is we sell this calendar. I can just hold it up. We started out by printing 1,000 calendars. When you do 1,000 calendars, it costs quite a bit of money to each one. So we did 1,000. It cost us $4 a calendar. We sold them for $5. We made $1,000, and we gave the $1,000 to Friends of Karen. They take care of youngsters who are in pretty tough shape and so forth. This year, I printed 20,000 calendars, not 1,000. This cost us to print, I hate to say this, $1.08. I mean, this has got gorgeous
that's
pictures.
beautiful. Yeah.
Which means we sell this for $10. The kids get every penny of it, so they get $8.92 a calendar.
How wonderful.
So
That is great.
we've passed the $4 million mark raising money and giving it to kids.
Jim, how wonderful is that? That's
Yeah,
great.
that's very good. And nobody working with me in the Hope for Youth Foundation gets any pay.
Okay.
It's all volunteer.
That's wonderful.
So what we do, we deal with about 40 different organizations that we give the monies to. Then we give out 8 scholarships. I want to talk to you about that. We give out to Lakeland, Panis, Putnam Valley, Peekskill, Henrik Hudson. We give out for various reasons. In fact, this year we gave a scholarship out not to a kid who was going to college, but to a plumber.
How wonderful.
Remember
great.
years ago?
Yeah.
This is what you and I talk about all the time, that
Yeah.
not everyone is
No,
going to college.
and so Jim, this so you understand that the Mahopac Central School District is the biggest subscriber to Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES. We have the most students who go, and again, BOCES has a variety of programs, but most of our kids go there for the trades.
And I always taught, this year I probably won't, monster storms at BOCES, and they used to bus the kids in. And I did that for the last 15 years or so.
So
Mahopac was involved.
talk about how you kind of, forecast and that long range what are some of the things that you look for that create that. So now what's going to happen when you say this?
Well,
Everybody's going to mark their calendars and say, Mr. DiCarlo, be prepared for these dates.
It's very interesting. For
Yeah.
December,
Okay.
I said, you know, it was going to end up not cold, but more even, sort of normal,
Mhm.
maybe even a touch milder.
Mhm.
Well, the month started out brutal. We were running 8 or 9 degrees below normal.
Yeah.
The last week, that's the week coming up,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
mostly cloudy, mild,
Mhm.
mild, mild. So I'm counting on the week of Christmas, and now I see on television all the weather guys
Yeah.
are saying,
Mild.
"Oh, it's going to be warm now." You know, we're going to say, "How do you do that?"
Yeah, that's
How-
my question.
You want to really know?
Yeah.
You want to know too, folks? Here's how I would do it. It's 50 years in the making. I started this a long time ago. I had a student. I won't go through the whole story of the student, but he was very smart. His name is Neil Townsend. And I asked him to write a program for me that would tell me where the sun and the moon and the planets are at any time. I got it, he said. I said, okay, now tell me where they'll be the next 1,000 years or 2,000 at any time. Okay, he's got it. Now tell me where they were 2,000 years ago. Okay. So when somebody asks me for a forecast, I put it in the computer, it right away goes to the date. It finds out where the planet, sun, moon, where they are, goes back and finds out where they were, the same, tells me that date. That date's weather will be that date's weather in a couple of years, whenever it happens to be. And the computer is so fast that if I went home tonight and I pressed one button and said, print out the forecast for the whole United States for the year 2026, tomorrow morning I'd wake up, it's done.
And what's the accuracy?
Well, there's a fellow in Somers who does the accuracy of it, and each year it comes out, believe it or not, between 88 and 92%.
Wow.
Yeah, which is, you know, pretty good. That's why when we put this calendar out, everybody wants it. Everybody wants
Well,
it. And it sells like crazy.
I will be purchasing one and
Well,
putting it
you're
in
gonna
probably
get
more than one.
You're
Have
gonna-
one at
you're
school,
gonna get one
in my
free.
house, one in my car, so I can check as these things are going through. Because you can imagine, Jim, it's one of the most difficult periods for me is the winter, and then of course making those calls, whether it's a delay or a closure, and you know it's never an easy situation, but we try to, and again, work with as many different groups and
Good.
forecasting to try to come up with as accurate a call that we can make. And you know, it's always about the timing of when the storm is going to hit and then what the impacts are on the roads, the buses, etc.
Here's a good example, because he knows this story. Early in the morning, you have to know early in the morning what you're going to do. There's a lot of maneuvering around. So maybe 4:30, I would have to have everything set, and I would call up the superintendents personally, like I would call you. So this one morning, I called up the superintendent of Lakeland, and I know these guys pretty well. I said, "Hey, Bob, I think you should cancel school today." He said, "Okay." End of story. He hangs up. They usually ask questions, right? I wait. Boy, that's crazy. My phone rings. It's the superintendent. He said, "Did you call me?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you say I cancel school?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Why? It's 40 degrees. It's raining." I said, "Well, if you look, Bob, in eastern Pennsylvania, it's 7 degrees with snow and wind." I said, "And that's just going to get here when you have the buses out. It will be horrendous." "Oh," he says, "that's tough to get." "Okay, I'll do it." Well, that morning was just
There you go.
unbelievable.
Wow.
These are the things that a weather guy can see, and that you sitting in your
Right.
don't see it. But and then there was a time when, I ran a program in Lakeland, weather program that became internationally famous. These kids were good, and they are now running the Weather Bureau. But anyway, I got a phone call from the superintendent, and he said, Jim, they just said heavy snow warnings for this afternoon, and that we should probably get everybody out. So I said, well, okay, Frank, let me just, I'll have the kids run it through. So the kids ran it through, and they came to me in about 10 minutes, and they said, you know, all the stuff you taught us says it's going to rain. I said, whoa. So what do you want to do, keep the kids in school? Yeah. So I called up the superintendent, and I said, send them home, right? 9,000 kids,
Right.
whatever we had in that day, you're gonna.
Right.
The Weather Bureau is saying heavy snow, and the kids said it's gonna. Well, the next day there wasn't a snowflake to be seen. It rained and it rained and it rained. These kids came to me the next day. They literally had tears in their eyes. How could you do this to us? I mean, we followed all your rules, and then you don't listen.
Yeah.
But now these
Lesson
kids,
learned, yeah.
I was telling, you've heard of the American model versus
Yes,
the
European,
Yes.
right, correct.
My student wrote the American model
Okay.
Really?
from
Wow.
Lakeland.
Wow.
Another one is the director of research of the National Hurricane Center. Another one is the lead forecaster for NASA,
Wow.
whether they send a rocket or not. Another one is the executive vice president of AccuWeather. You probably maybe
Yes,
use them.
Yes, we do.
All right, they're good. I'm trying to think of my kids from Lakeland are running the show down there in Washington.
How great is that?
Oh.
So what are we looking at for the rest of this year?
I see March and April as being colder than they should be.
Okay. And
But-
with that, does that come precipitation?
Yeah, you know, it's very crazy that I would even think this, but I'll show you something. You can read it. I'm afraid to say it, all right? Because
A white Easter.
it's in April.
Wow.
Read it.
Yeah, and well, the nice part about it
It melts
is that,
quickly.
yeah, it's people are not going to like it, but it's the week that we're off.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
wow.
it's the spring recess.
Oh,
But
good.
because it says here, ladies and gentlemen, increasing clouds, then snow, and in parentheses, heavy snow.
April 6th.
Yeah, so
Very unusual
yeah.
that I do that.
Yeah, but I can remember years ago some of the holiday Easters where it was snowing, so it's not that it's unusual.
Well, I'll tell you one. April 6th, 1982.
Yeah.
We had 17 inches of snow up here.
Wow.
And I had to drive down to the city because I had to be on television, Channel 13.
Okay, yeah.
The McNeil Lair
Yes,
report.
sure.
I drove down there in a whiteout. April 6th.
Wow.
Wow.
Imagine.
So where can the calendars be purchased, Jim?
Oh, you know, there's a Red Mill Market
Yes,
right here.
yes.
I have them in Red
Great.
Mill Market. That's where people would want to do.
Okay.
But now, let's say somebody said, I'd like to do it via the computer. You could go to hfyf.org, and on there you'd find out all the details and so forth and so on. And folks, know that every penny goes to the kids. And as I said, we passed the $4 million mark,
That's-
which I think is
That's wonderful.
really
Remarkable.
good.
That's
Yeah,
great.
right.
Great.
Good. Well, Jim, we thank you so much for taking a few moments to be with us today.
Well, you guys didn't get. I blabbed the whole time.
No, but listen, the purpose is we have you here. You're the guest, and it's important for people to understand a little bit about what goes into weather and your expertise in it and how important it is for us to be safe, as you said. And we will definitely. And you said 88 to. That's incredible
92%.
accuracy.
It
So
works out real
I'm going to
well.
make sure I do have these where I told you I would.
And I just wanted to mention, because I'm very proud of the fact that my 3 grandchildren went to Mayapack
That's
schools
great.
and did very well
That's wonderful.
and are doing well in life.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a good
Great.
school.
It's a great
It's
system.
a
It's
super school.
We're so proud of what goes on, and we're so honored to have you as our guest. And listen,
Well, thank
we
you.
wish you all the best, a happy holiday season, and the best to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much, Jim.
Thank
Be
you.
well.
Thank you.
Jim Witt. Anthony and I will be right back. We have a new gal in town, we understand.
Yes, we
Sandra
do.
Colhesi, the new Assistant Superintendent for Business. Welcome.
Thank you.
Impressions of Mayapack.
I think that Mayapack is a wonderful community where people really feel very strongly about their community, and I like that. It's like a home.
Tell us something about Sandra. Where were you before you arrived in Putnam?
I was at Portchester, where I was the school business administrator, which is similar, same, different title, same position. And I was there for about 15 months, and I heard the position was open here, and I worked with Mr. DiCarlo before.
Oh.
And was excited to be able to do it again.
What kind of a gal is Sandra?
Yeah, Sandra is, it's interesting because similar to when I took the superintendency and being in multiple roles through my career, as I shared with you, Sandra's done some of the same things. So she can kind of talk about being in the business office and really having all those roles, I think, which has led to her, her knowledge base and really understanding what goes into an effective business office, how it needs to run, and then being able to mentor and coach those who she works with. And she can speak about that.
Yes, I really like to, when I'm working with people, to explain the why. Not just how to do it, but why do we do it? Because if you just do something by rote, you don't learn anything, and you don't understand the impact you have. And everything that we do in a school business office impacts a child. So that is the end result of our work, is what we're able to give back to the children. And that's what made me take the transition from working in a CPA firm to working in a school district, because I found that I liked the work and I liked the fact that what I could impact. I wasn't working on a balance sheet or a financial statement. So I started off as a school auditor, and I started my first job in a school district was actually a BOCES. So I've worked all the different areas as being an auditor, working in a BOCES, and now working in a school district.
Are there many ladies, are there many females involved in the business administration in a public school?
There are more and more.
Really?
There really are. There are more and more. And a funny story, after I finished the degree to be an assistant superintendent or school business official, I went to the ASBO, Association for School Business Officials in Albany, put my bag down, walked out, came back in, and someone that I had worked with PTO with my kids the whole time, another woman was sitting right next to me, and she works in Irvington. So it's very funny. You never know. It's a small world.
And again, the fact that more and more women are getting involved in this field, it's just an incredible thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And I think in the field of education in general, we're seeing more and more women in these type of roles in HR, superintendents, throughout the state, which I think is incredible. So we're so excited to have Sandra here. And, as you know, she's coming into, a difficult budget cycle. As we know what's happening with the governor and the veto of the amnesty bill. It's going to be a very, I think, important budget. We really are asking that the public come out and talk about what priorities are to help the board in deciding what ultimately that budget will be. We continue to work hard with Senator Harkin. As you know, we're in the holiday recess period. But come January, probably, Eric, within the first week or two, the governor will have his proposal of budget, which will then help us out to know a little bit about what we get. And then we have to really sit down and sharpen our pencils. I mean, we are very cognizant. We've worked hard in the last 2 years to really bring program back. And we are looking at every layer of the district and see what we can do through attrition, through cost-saving measures to try to fill that hole. It's a big hole that we need to fill. And as you know, and we're all upset about it, and the fact that we were honest, transparent, and upfront about it, but it's going to have an impact this year. We're hoping, right, that it's 1 year, because we're working again with Senator and our Assemblyman Harkin and Byrne to hopefully, and I think what their early game plan is, Eric, and the Senator is going to be coming in and speaking to the public at a board meeting in January or February, and he's going to talk about what they're looking to do is to put a bill together that's an amnesty bill for all that are involved, like we are, and put it in the budget. So, Eric, if it stays in the budget and not taken out, and then the budget passes, then we're good. Okay? If not, then we'd have to do the same thing we did last year. It'd have to go out of both houses and then go back to the governor for signature. So we're hoping the work that we're going to be doing on preparing the budget, maybe we'll get lucky enough and the budget passes at April 1st and we can go back in and and resharpen it and say, okay, wow, that's great, but we have to go in the worst case scenario.
Are there many other schools around the state, or any other schools like Mayapack?
Yeah.
Where things happened almost a decade ago, and now
Yes.
they're being penalized?
There are.
Yeah, but I don't know to the extent because we're the newer ones that this has happened to,
Okay.
but there are some.
Okay.
There are some, so it's not just us. And again, we're doing everything we can possibly do. Sandra and I are on the phone with the state. We're on the phone with Senator Harckham, and I want to let the people know we're really working hard to try to be able to mitigate this situation to the best of our ability.
We will have Senator Harckham on this program when he does speak to the Mayapack Board of Education and the community, as you say, in either January or February.
Yeah, very important. And I know that he's really working hard behind the scenes to try to do the best that we possibly can do to be able to get through this little chapter.
Good. Well, welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Good seeing you.
You
We'll
too.
see you around the school issue.
Yeah,
Yes, you will.
I'm sure we're going to do a budget show
Yep.
with
Yes,
Sandra once
definitely.
everything is
Good,
finalized.
good.
We will do that and take a look at it.
Okay,
All right.
Sandra, thanks again. Anthony and I'll be back in a moment. So what are your plans for the holiday?
Entertaining,
More entertaining.
3 out of my 4 children live out of state.
Yep.
So they'll be in, and of course, we'll be celebrating the holidays, and then of course, family wants to come see them, who doesn't get to see them a lot. So it's great. I mean, to be with family and friends over the course of the holiday will be wonderful. I will be in a number of days to work to try to catch up on some things because, as you know, it's a little bit quieter and we can do those
Yes.
type of things. And then when we get back in January, it's 2020, as we mentioned, and it's really now starting to get involved in the budget and ready for next year and schedules and a lot goes into the budget process, and it's work that of course needs to be done. And again, I cannot stress the importance of the public coming out and talk to us about what priorities are. We have our strategic map.
Yep.
We have that aligned. We want to continue the momentum that we've carried on, Eric. But like I said, there may have to be some hard choices based on the impacts of the bill being vetoed.
While the schools are closed for faculty, for students, staff, there are those who work during the
The
June
administrators,
period.
secretaries work. I mean, they of course some of them have options to take their vacation
Custodial
days.
staff,
Yeah, but
maintenance
it's open.
people.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
work that gets done during those holidays.
Yeah.
Which is important because you can get to it.
Sure.
There's a lot more opportunities. There's not faculty and students in the buildings to do some of the stuff that needs to be done. So always during the break, there is a lot of work behind the scenes that does go on.
And before we do sign off for the year, of course, the new next year will be back, 2020, as Anthony said. Anything new with the budget, with the bond referendum?
Yeah, so we are in the stages of, we've submitted up the first pre-phase, which is going to be the roof work in our
Right,
buildings over
right.
this summer. And then once we get that approval, we'll be sitting down with all the buildings and talking about what we need to do with moving programs. We're working with the recreation department because we host programs that have to be moved this
Okay.
year. And then we will be in the beginning of the finalizing the first phase, which will be the following summer. Because as you know, things in Albany don't happen overnight. It's literally a year in advance to do
Yes.
that work. So we really are beginning to do that work. The next 3 summers, there's going to be a lot of work going on in our buildings, which we're excited about.
Sure.
Which we've talked about, and you'll start to see some of those schematics as the approvals get finalized.
Okay. Until next time, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, as Anthony said, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, you name it. Be well, be safe. Anthony and I will be back after the first of the year with an updated program on Spotlight on Mayapack Schools. Have yourselves a good one.
Yes,
Be
all
well.
the best, everybody.
Stash,
Thank you.
happy holidays.
Yes.
Bye-bye now.
For more information, please visit our website, www.mayapack.k12.ny.us.